Okay, that was a really nice break, but now it's time that we get back to work. Hey guys, this is Animat, and welcome back to the Muppet Vlog. Now this time we're going to be looking into the 11th episode of the new Muppet series, which is Swine Song. Now, the best way to describe this episode is basically, this is the transition episode to pretty much go from out with the old and in with the new. As you guys may know, you've heard that the Muppets had to go through like this major change. They got to fix a few things up in order to make the show like a bit better, because there have been a few complaints in the past about like how the show was going beforehand, but now they decided to try to set up like this new version of the show, and pretty much they decided like instead of immediately going with the new format, they're pretty much like showing us how they went from like here to there. And the way that they did it, I have to admit, is actually pretty smart. So everything that's been going on is that, okay, now they've been, they had their little vacation and now they're back and now things are getting back to work. However, there is one small obstacle that the network decided to add, and they decided to put in a branding guru. And basically, he wants to really change everything to make everything more relevant and like more today and stuff like that. So he decided to pretty much take that all away, like pretty much try to really change the format of the Muppets. But then Kermit and Miss Piggy discovered that they do have to change the format itself, but they found their own unique way. So basically, they decided to stick a little bit more to their roots with this one, and they have a few sketches that they've done. And overall, that's pretty much how the episode pretty much went. And I have to admit, it really is a lot of fun. And the changes, I will admit, it went off a bit better than I would probably expect. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit worried to know how they were going to change the stuff with the show. I was a bit worried, wondering if like anything bad is going to happen, like if like they're gonna change things for the worse, or like they're going to really take the criticisms by heart and they're gonna change way too many things to the point that it's no longer recognizable to how it was beforehand. But no, they actually handled it very well. Things are going pretty good, and I even do appreciate some of the changes that they did. And I do understand with what they're going with now. Like, even at the end, I actually do really appreciate that now they're going to add, like, some small sketches and stuff like that to make it more reminiscent to the past Muppet shows. There isn't really a lot. We only had 3 sketches. We got... Well, the last one was a musical number between Kermit and Miss Piggy, which at first, when they say to bring in the banjo, I thought like, oh, okay, we're gonna play Rainbow Connection again for some reason, but no, they did this musical number, which I will admit, yeah, it's dumb, it's corny, but it is nice. It's a Kermit and Miss Piggy number. Actually, the other 2, they were actually really fantastic, and I absolutely adore them. First off, there was like Pepe the Uber driver, which that was really a lot of fun. And then you got Bobo coming in, and he was reading like this Instagram chat in the style of like a dramatic poem and stuff like that. Those are actually really fun, and if they are going to continue this format, I would like to see more of those. Like, I would like to see like more of Pepe the Uber driver and Bobo reading those Instagram chats dramatically. Though that would be a lot of fun. I would love to see more of those. So I'm pretty much digging into like, I pretty much like what they're going with this. And I will admit, like, they didn't like completely go with the variety show. There's still like the behind the scenes thing that they regularly do with the past episodes and stuff like that, and that was still pretty good. And I will admit, Key and Peele are actually some of the best special guest stars that they have in there. They were a lot of fun and just downright hilarious. And probably I may have said this a few times, but they were some of the best use of special guest stars. They were hilarious. They were used to their full potential, and overall, they were just great. These were absolutely great special guest stars, and some of the best use that they would use for the show. However, with all the changes that has been said, there is one change, however, that I am not happy ever since I first heard that they were going to do this, and that is including the new villain. Yes, he's pretty much the new villain, and I'm talking about the branding guru, Pache. Now, honestly, if he were just like a one-shot thing, like if he were just like, oh, this is the special guest star and like he's gonna be the villain of this episode, I would have been fine. Maybe it would have been interesting to just like to have that one episode where the branding guru comes in, but it turns out like it didn't work out. But if they're going to keep bringing this guy in to be douchey and try to sabotage the show, you know, it's not gonna be that, it's not gonna be great. Like, honestly, this is the one bad thing I didn't really like much about this episode, and that is the addition of Pache. Now, no disrespect to the actor who has been playing this is all a problem in terms of the writing and like just creating this character. Like, you know, like the shenanigans of what's been going on with the Muppets, you know, that's fine. Like, the material is all there. You don't need to add a villain into this. It's kind of like in the 2011 Muppets when they add, like, the evil business guy. He's not like he's not a terrible villain. You know, like, he is pretty funny at times, but he's not that necessary. That's the whole thing. You don't really need a villain when you're trying to do the Muppets and stuff like that. Maybe for movies, but certainly not for TV shows. Like, they can get in their own problems and find their own solutions by themselves. You don't need the villain. And honestly, that's my only complaint so far, is that I'm really not liking Pache. But anyways, there actually are a few other things I would like to mention that they did add into this episode in itself. There is that small side plot that they didn't really look into it that much, but it actually really is funny. And it does actually add in this surprising edge to the Muppets. Now, in the show, there have been several, like, hidden adult jokes in there, but wow, this one, they really pushed it far with the small penguin and Uncle Deadly. Not between them, but some of the things that Uncle Deadly said, even I have to admit, like, I was watching it like, whoa, dude, what? Oh my god, no, it really is funny. But also, I would like to mention, though, that they did say that they will be bringing in a lot of new characters. Well, a lot of the, not new characters, but I mean, they'll bring back a lot of the old Muppets back into this, and I'll be discussing them as they come up. But we did notice one of the new Muppets that, one of the Muppets that did come in and, like, is a new addition, and that is New Zealand. As you know, as a Muppet fan, I always love New Zealand. He's definitely, honestly, I would count him as maybe an underrated character, maybe an underrated Muppet. He definitely is hilarious, and especially like his act with the boomerang fish. It's always funny. This is like, he's one of the characters that does define the Muppet of New Zealand and the boomerang fish. I throw it out and he comes back. You know, it definitely is great, and it's definitely cool to see him back. Although they didn't really use him much, like, his role would basically count as a cameo, but it is cool to see him back, and I hope that, like, he would be more prominently featured as the episodes would go on. Now, there is one more thing I would like to discuss, and this is something that honestly really surprised me, and this is actually regarding the relationship between Kermit and Denise. And in this one, they knew for a fact that everybody has been complaining about this. Everybody knew that the relationship of Kermit and Denise, no one liked it. So pretty much immediately, they're starting to have problems. We're already starting to see that the relationship between Kermit and Denise is starting to be really rocky. Now, and honestly, this one kind of, it really did throw me off, and I was honestly shocked. Well, not really because of the relationship itself. Like, if you have seen the past Muppet vlogs, you know me. I was fully not supportive of this kind of relationship. I was honestly just waiting for Kermit and Miss Piggy to come back together. And with Denise, like, I did not enjoy Denise. Nobody liked Denise. She's not even a character. She was just there for plot convenience. But the reason why I was so shocked it was mostly because, wow, they were, like, it just feels sudden. It's like, wow, they really are trying to solve this problem immediately. They knew this was an issue, but I didn't expect that they would immediately try to solve this problem quick. It's like, because right now, the relationship is kind of on the edge, and I didn't expect that to immediately be there. I was expecting, like, give it a few episodes or something like that, and then, like, probably somewhere at the season finale, just really put it on the edge, or, like, make it over and stuff like that. But I didn't expect that they would immediately do that. But you know what? It's probably for the best. Let's just get rid of Denise as soon as possible so Kermit can get back to Miss Piggy. But anyways, that's pretty much going to be it for this Muppet vlog, and it definitely does feel great to see the Muppets back on TV and again, and I'm pretty much digging with what they got right now, except for Pache. So let's see if they'll continue on, you know, keeping this good streak forward. But until next time, see you later, dudes!